Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music, and it's Gizmo Sunday. Today I've got Fracture Sound's Petrichor. They partnered with British composer Dan Keane to bring us this woodwind ensemble library, Petrichor. Petrichor. It's that smell that comes with the first rain. Sort of a little dusty, light, earthy. It was in Doctor Who, the Doctor's favorite words. Do you have favorite words? Here are two of my favorite words. Smokestack, portcullis. Well, Petrichor is an ensemble library. You won't get individual winds. You won't get flutes, clarinets, bassoons, bass clarinets. You won't get oboes or English horns or oboe d'amores. You won't get sackbuts or anything bizarre like that. No, it's a carefully crafted ensemble sound that's breathy. And at the same time, you've got some unusual extended techniques. Wisps, accents, blooms, multiphonics, swells, things they're calling spores, some really beautiful sounding trills. Listen, as it happened, the day I got this, it was raining outside. I took a little bit of footage, so we've got some B-roll. Listen to this piece. This is a fun instrument to write with, to compose with. This is what it looks like on screen. This is what I did. So let's just kind of like look at the GUI and talk about how it lays out. And this is High Winds, and it's the main version of High Winds. There's a alternate version of High Winds as well, and we'll take a look at that. Most woodwind and string ensembles are going to benefit from both dynamics and expression sliders. I've got those sliders separate. And if you look over here, you'll notice that the dynamic slider, which really increases the volume as well as the timbre, because we're actually adding layers, is also linked to the atmospheric intensity volume. See how that works? Now, right now, the atmospheres are off because when I write, I don't really care for extra atmosphere, but okay, let's bring it in. So here's a beautiful sound. I'm going to take the expression knob up so it's nice and loud. I have it panned over to the left a little bit because that's just how I wrote the piece. And you can hear that's kind of a combination of flute and clarinet, maybe oboe, I don't know. Well, each of these articulations is available for us at any time. I can unload it by turning it off there. But here's what's terrific. I can actually play a couple of notes, switch the articulation. I'm still hearing the wisps. And the next two notes I add, the smart trill comes in. And the smart trill is smart about what notes I'm playing. There's a major third. There's a second. Awesome, right? Blooms is similar. A lot of swells, beautiful articulations. Soft accents is quite good for things like, making a chord. And here the atmosphere helps pad it out. Okay, I'm going to turn the atmosphere off now because we really want to hear what these winds sound like. Here's a beautiful swell, just by itself. And it dies out by itself as well. By comparison, the short. Spores has an interesting life to it here. This all same chord, but just up a whole step. You hear it popping out the fifth. Extra notes. It's really beautiful. And then wild wisps, a little more color in the sustain. High winds main. Now, all of the mains have similar articulations, but just to sort of get a sense of it, let's look at the low winds in the mains as well. And again, I've got the atmospheres turned off. Here are the low winds, wisps. And again, I can hold this down, switch to trills, add notes, add some color, right? So much fun. Now, this sort of live key switching is kind of new for our friends here at Fracture Sounds, and it's a big plus. Now, it'd be nice if I have three hands, but I don't, and it's still pretty effective. Let's take a look at some of these alts because the alts are really kind of cool. So when you go over to the high winds alts, we've got a new set of articulations. Let me show them to you. We still have the beautiful wisps. Those are the same. We have smart trills. I think that's the same. But now we have tempo synced swells. So my tempo is currently 78. Let's listen to a swell based around that. Very useful. Soft accents are just so cool. They kind of die out perhaps a little slower than I'd like. Like I wish I had some control over, the envelope, and I don't. I've got control over tightness and the dynamic range. That's about it. Now, these major second, minor third, major third trills are super beautiful. So depending on what notes you pick, how careful you are, you can get like just a gorgeous effect. Listen. I'm playing a fifth, A and E, and I'm getting minor third trills on each. This texture, just like this, is a winner. And because the key switching is hot, I can have minor third trills and then key switch to a major second trill and get this. Right? So cool. I can have major and minor thirds trills together. Here's one that might be useful. So here's my first trill. Here's my second trill. So now I have just a G minor chord sort of oscillating there just by holding down two notes, and it's kind of hypnotic. I'm very happy about this. So what are multiphonics? You've probably seen saxophone players wrap their mouth around the mouthpiece and go honk, right? It's kind of a multiphonic. And certain fingerings will pop out harmonics on any wind instrument, on any overblown tube. So here's an example. The overtones will be different on every note just because of the nature of the tube size. If it sounds a little bit like a duck call, you're not wrong, but it can really add life and vitality to a wind part to have a little bit of stuff like it in the mix. You know, it's not wrong to say that sometimes the imperfections, especially in wind and brass instruments, are the thing that gives it the most vitality. And so I love the option to include little things like that. It is tonal, you know, there's a note there. This instrument has been really fun to play around with. And, you know, I'm a fan of Dan Keen's. When he was working with Spitfire, I always thought his reviews and his demos were just my favorite to watch. So I'm delighted that Fracture Sounds has partnered with him to make this kind of unique and really beautiful, very expressive library. At its best, it's like having a kind of a really compliant woodwind choir at your beck and call. And it's going to add a beautiful color to almost any sort of alternative scoring challenge that you have, whether it's a song or writing to picture. And plus, it's just fun to say the word Petrichor. Well, I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe, ding the bell. You'll be notified when I do my videos. I'll see you next time.